I'm Nick Larsen from ExactlyNo, and I want to show you my new kit. I've always wanted my own Gretsch set. I had 3 catalogs that were my dad's when I was a kid. A Ludwig catalog, a Fibes catalog, and a Gretsch catalog. And it actually came to me after I got this kit a couple weeks ago that I now own those 3 manufacturers. So I kind of completed a dream from my childhood, so to speak. I'm trying to usually find something that'll take me out of my comfort zone, either in switching sizes, even switching depths. I've found that anytime, even if you're playing the same sizes, same tuning, same heads, playing a different kit can inspire you just because you hear things differently, and it kind of changes the context of what's in your head and what you hear and how it comes out of you or how it comes out of your hands. I've found over the last decade that I really like 14-inch bass drums. All bass drums back in the day were that depth, and then the 90s hit and they went to 16, and then the 2000s and DW hit and everything went to 18 or even 20, which is ridiculous. With a 14, you have a lot of punch. You get a lot of feel back from the front head, and it makes the whole drum open up more. A solid front head, no hole in the resonant head, just a little pillow in it just touching the batter side, and then a felt strip across the front, so very minimal dampening. And if you hit this in a room, you'll feel that there's a 24-inch bass drum there. The snare drum, I use a relatively same tuning on most. This is an actual 70s Ludwig 6.5 by 14 402. I put an indie throw off on it because it's reliable. So I set it up my way with just a Remo Hazy Ambassador on the bottom, Coated Emperor on the top. A happy tuning. With the snare wires, I try to get it so if I hit it with my finger, you still have some spread there, because a lot of people will over tighten and that chokes all the tone out of the drum. Still has tone, there's still a note there, which will get lost in everything else, and that's good. On this kit, I have Remo Black Dots top and bottom, which is a total like old school Tony Williams thing, and he was a Gretsch guy. They're tuned medium high, like rockish Bonham, but not quite Bonham territory, because he played even a bigger kick and bigger rack tom. And these drums are very resonant and have a lot of tone to them. It's not very modern sounding, it's more classic sounding. But if you're in a room trying to fill space and you hit these, this isn't about being close mic'd, it's about moving some air. Rack tom, 9x13, black dot top and bottom. The bottom one actually takes a little sustain and meat out of the drum, which is good in the higher tuning because it actually helps focus the sound. I used to always tune matched, but then you have a super long note and it doesn't always make the drum activate, the actual shell resonate. I've found that tuning the bottom head a third or fourth higher gets you more power, gets you more clarity, more articulation, and doesn't turn into ding, and you sit there, have a cup of coffee, and the thing's still resonating. I like my 16 to be pretty low in pitch, and I actually have this tuned up a little higher note than usual because of the 18. And the 18, on the other hand, a little bit different, but I have those pretty matched because if you bring this up too high, then this has to go up higher, and then they start to fight each other. And that's always a battle with a 16 and 18, is getting them to not activate each other. And if they do activate each other, you want them tuned in unison so they will sound good. It's like the god of thunder over here when you really lay into it. And you may not hit it often. I don't know, it adds a little flavor when you need it. And in my mind, it looks cool as hell because I've always liked the 1 up, 2 down look. It's a total classic vibe. And then the side snare, Bottom head's tuned medium tight, usually around a G. I tune it medium pitch and then drop these two lugs that are facing me and then have a dampener too. So if I need to use this as a regular drum or want to tension it quickly up, I can crank these two lugs back up to their regular pitch and I'd be relatively the same ballpark tuning as this. So maybe I want to use it as a different accent in a song, or in the studio maybe I want to throw that snare up, or maybe this thing blows up in the middle of a song and I can literally just pick up, adjust, and off I go.
Thank you guys.